it's your besties, Karan Hayes, and my bestie, Dr. Irene Abram.
Hey.
Y'all, we just want to get on here and do just like a quick podcast to talk to you all about a topic that we had been discussing, just like with a general conversation that we were having. And we want to kind of pose it and talk to you all about it. Can a friendship actually be restored after you have fallen out with the other party? Do you think that can be done, y'all? Can a friendship really be restored? Like get back to where, it was from the beginning, or get back to where it was at when it actually ended? Can it be restored after you have fallen out? You've had a big blowout. I mean, you all were going off on each other. It might have been some name calling in there. However you all have your disagreements, can it actually be restored after all of that? That's what we want to talk about on today. So Irene, I'm just gonna give my honest opinion, just up front. It really does depend on what we fell out about. Like, what was the falling out about? And then also, like, how do we handle it? Like, what were we actually even talking about? How did we get there? And then just kind of like the ins and outs, because everybody argues differently. Everybody, have their own way of having a disagreement. Me, what I don't do, or what I try not to do, is do any type of name calling. I'm just gonna be honest. A few words might slip out every now and then. I might have to ask the Lord to forgive me on. But as far as cursing people out, calling people out of their names, bringing up things that I have shared with you, like things in my past, any dark secrets, any secrets that I have told you, any skeletons in the closet that I let out and I told you about, or told that person about. If you bring it and you throw that in my face, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can restore that. I don't even know if I even have the desire to do it. But what about you? Do you think that really can be done?
Yeah, I think it just depends on like the level of relationship you have with that person. But something you said that I definitely agree with, and I call this mad day. So when mad day comes and you're mad, and you're not necessarily throwing it in my face, but it's mad day. So you're sharing with people that I've talked about. So if I vented to you and I said something about somebody, because that's happened to me where mad day was present, and this person was running down everything this person said about me. And so I was like, no, what did you say though? Because you only sharing this with me because it's mad day, right? So I think about that as well, is what is that person's reaction when it's mad day? Are you telling, conversations that we've had? Are you throwing things back in my face? And like you said, because if you calling me B's and H's and everything like that, I just think that I would really have to consider, do I want this friendship? Is this friendship worth it?
Yes.
How long has this been in your heart towards me?
Big
and
time.
You just waited for a reason to say it.
Right.
But I'm kind of like you. If that's the situation, I'll pass.
Yeah.
I'll pass on the friendship. However, if it's just if it's a disagreement, because everybody is different, and I don't think you should always agree. I think a good natural sparring, iron sharpen iron, is okay, getting different opinions and thoughts. But if you just have a regular disagreement, because sometimes it just happens being around other people. I think I'm going to share this with you, Kiran. I disagree with my sisters. I have two, and we'll have an argument.
My sister and I
will have an argument
too.
Yeah, and then, I can recall
one with my sister now.
I know
she don't watch this, so I'm not gonna bring it up. But we got
but me, you know what? And the last argument I had with my sisters that was really hard was when my grandmother passed away. And emotions are already high, and emotions are flying, and things were said that we didn't mean. But we was able to move forward, move on. We agreed to disagree. You have your feelings, and that's the thing too, Kiran. That comes into play when you have a friend sitting down. If you want to repair it,
Yeah.
being able to hear what that person is, because everyone's perspective of an argument is different. So I think if you want the friendship, if you love that person and you think it's repairable, sometimes you have to listen and not with waiting to respond back, but listen to really hear that person's point of view, because you could have been the real problem.
True.
You know, and
That's
just
true.
like you forgive your sister or your brother, because you're gonna, I mean, you're siblings, you're gonna have siblings, you're gonna have disagreements, but you love them.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
they can't stop being sisters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even when it comes as far as the difference with your siblings versus you know, that good friend of yours, even if you do call that good friend your sister, or you call, you know, him your brother or whatever, I think it really is different, because with the siblings, shoot, y'all been arguing since y'all was in Pampers, okay? Going back and forth, arguing over who gonna get the last of the Cheerios, you know, who gonna sit next to mama, who's sitting in the front seat, you know, y'all that fell out, y'all probably didn't tussle, y'all might have tagged each other every now and then. You probably did call each other, you know, out your names. You probably said your mama, knowing you talking about both of y'all, you know, whatever.
We got that bad, saying your mama ain't the same person. Okay, go ahead.
But then at the end of the day, it's almost like you still come back. Well, most of the time, because I do know of some people who have fallen out with siblings and they're not the same. But most of the time you do come back together. And it might not even be a coming back together of, I'm sorry. It's just like, hey, you want to do such and such? You know, you went out for me yesterday. But it's like it's family. But when it comes to that friend, we say friends are family, but truth be told, that's not blood. So
well, you find out on Mad Day.
Yes. And you have a choice.
Because you be like, we family, baby, not on Mad Day. That's what you find out on Mad Day. Where you really stood with that person.
Exactly. So it's a choice. You have a choice to say, nope, I'm not doing it again. I don't ever have to talk to you again. We don't ever have to come in contact again. You have a choice. And I do think it goes back to the level of relationship, how long you all have been friends, how much you value that friendship. And then to me, the biggest thing is the actual blowout. What took place? Like, what was entailed in this blowout? Like, were you all just kind of, you know, upset? You kind of screamed at each other, you were hollering at each other, and then you kind of left it at that? Or did you go as deep as cursing each other out? You know, you was cursing each other out, you were talking about, I think it's just different levels.
It's a lot of variables. Yeah, it's a lot of variables.
It's different levels.
We're not ever speaking again if you mess with my man, my family, my money. It's no, just exit phase left. It's not happening.
Look, and my mama, my daddy.
I have a problem with that. And I even will go as far to say is, almost if you in a disagreement with my husband, like I don't even know if I can even rock with you because you know, and one thing that I know that I had to kind of take a step back from, I used to be to the point to where if I thought you was even talking about him or disagreeing with him, that I had that bad, especially at church. So what you say? Hold on. You know, and you know, and Mitchell would be like, babe, stand down. You know, I got this. It's okay. You know, and just making sure that I wasn't overreacting. So having said that, I really, when it comes to friendships, I'm really careful with using the word friend. Like Kiran said, what was a situation that caused us to fall out? Because sometimes you can just disagree and you can just be like, okay, well, what are we gonna go eat? You know what I'm saying? And be fine.
Exactly.
Because it's just natural. And then I also think that the depthness of the friendship, can you sit down, come to the table, have a meeting of the minds, and fairly listen to that person and have them listen to you? Because if it's a mutual thing, like, I want this friendship, I want to be friends. I actually counseled two friends that had fell out, and they both had came to me, and I could hear their hearts, like they wanted the friendship, both of them. And so I brought them together and I said, you know what, you guys have been friends for so long. You said this, you said that, you know, be able to share your heart. And and what was sad, y'all, is it came down to someone else getting in between that friendship.
Yeah.
going in between instead of them having strong enough personalities to be like, why are you in this?
Exactly. Step
You
to
know
the
what I
side.
mean? Except,
Step
right?
to
Because
the side.
they had a long
Yeah.
friendship.
Yeah.
They were able to kind of come back together and talk and realize they didn't even have a beef with each other.
Right.
And so in that type of situation, Kieran, I am open and I'm always willing to sit down and talk to someone. But yeah, if you try to stop my bag or my, mess with my man or my family,
What
then
you said, no, that's a no-go.
probably not.
But you know what? I'm going to give an example, and this actually happened with me. Even though these two people, we have not reconnected again, but that was just because time has passed us or whatever. But my two best friends in high school, we actually met in high school. We were like this. I mean, tight.
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers. I mean, so tight, if she don't like you, I don't like you. I ain't never seen you before, but because she don't like you, I don't like you either. We was doing that type of thing.
That's high school.
But we were friends all the way up until our first year of college. And one of the friends actually was online. She was in a sorority. She was getting ready to cross over. And my other girlfriend and I, we went down there. We wanted to be there for her. And I think we stayed like the weekend. We did like a Friday through a Sunday, something like that. We were good all the way up until I think like the day, like whatever, what's the coming out day where they bring you all the gifts.
Oh yeah, when you crossing over.
You crossing over,
yeah.
So that particular day, the day before we got into it, my other girlfriend and I, we didn't even go to the celebration. Like, that's just how mad we were. To this day, I can't even tell you what we even got into it about. Years had went by. No, our freshman year in college, I had got married. The other two, they had went on with their lives. And one day I just so happened to be over at my mom's house. I guess I might have been at the time, maybe about 22. No. I probably was about 24 years old. I was just pregnant with my first child. I was over at my mom's house. It was for a holiday. I'm thinking it might have been maybe July 4th. And the girlfriend who was crossing over, her and the other friend, they called me. Now, the whole landline. Really don't nobody have landlines, but mom had a landline there. Okay. She called me at my mom's house. Everybody know my mama's know. She called me there. We got on the phone. And when I say y'all, we talked for hours. And it's like, we don't even know why we fell out. We don't even know why we got into it. We reconnected right then and right there. It was no cursing each other out. We might have used a few curse words, but we did not curse each other out. We did not talk about each other's mama, each other's families, and we knew a lot about each other. We didn't bring any of that up. So we were able to restore and repair that relationship. And it's almost like if it's some petty stuff, why not? If you value that relationship, why not restore it? Do you like that person? I mean, is that person valuable to you? Why not restore it?
Yeah.
You do have to have standards. You do have to have boundaries.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you cross this line, it's no coming back, brother or sister. You cannot do it. But if it's petty stuff, why not? Go ahead, restore that relationship.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
do think it's the situation. It's the situation and how it was handled.
Yeah, because you don't want to be in a friendship that's toxic. Like, you don't want to be in a toxic relationship or marriage where that person is gaslighting you,
Yes.
And I think that it's important to, even as friends, I think that sometimes as friends, you can sit down and reevaluate the friendship, talk through. I just think people don't communicate enough because by the time you communicate, you're mad. They've crossed the line. They've said too much. They've done too much.
Yeah.
It's unforgivable. That's when people start getting into physical fights and things like that. But I think keeping the line of communication is open, but definitely. And then if you're, adding an extra layer on, if you are a Christian, I think, if you can't, which happened to me, they brought in me as a mediator, go to somebody. If you have an out with them, go to somebody, go to your pastor, go to another friend, another trusted elder, whoever, and say, I want to resolve this with this person. I love them. And try to see if you can work it out. I definitely am all for a team. reconciliation,
Yes.
except again, like I say, there are some instances where for me, I've just had to literally cut some people,
Right, right.
you know,
Oh,
when,
cut 'em
and
off.
yeah, and I know
Mhm.
people like, oh, I hate this cancel culture. No, I'm not canceling you. I
Mhm.
can still say hi. You know, I can still work with you. I can
Yeah.
still talk to you and say, hey, it
Yeah.
costs nothing for me to say hi. But I think once you've severed my trust
Mhm.
and you've been disrespectful, then now I have to reevaluate where you are in my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm pro sitting down, having a conversation and talking
Yes.
to that person. I
No,
think that's
no, absolutely. And I do believe too, those who may be on like the restoring and or you're trying to repair a relationship, I don't think that it's going to go back to what it originally was.
Mhm.
And don't expect that. It's almost like if you fell out with someone and some time has gone by, just agree that you all are going to start over, not go back to what you were or go back to what the relationship was. Agree to start over and then rebuild from
Right.
there.
Yeah.
'Cause you got to rebuild that trust.
You have to.
You have to it doesn't even even if it was a situation where it was a whole man thing. You tried to take my man, you slept with my man, you know.
Are you gonna be friends with that person again?
You're not with that man no more.
You're not with that man.
You're not with
Okay.
that man no more.
See, I'm thinking husband. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, no.
Because he would be gone and you would be gone.
That's the absolute
Yeah,
Gone.
yeah. No, because
But-
people have been able to get through that. Yeah, you're right.
But
You're right.
if I don't care if he did try to come to you, I ain't trying to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. But whatever the situation may have been, just commit to starting
Yeah.
over, rebuilding, take it step by step, just like you just met that person. Act like you just met that person. Start all over again. That's what I would really suggest. Because I feel like if you go back into where you were, like it's going to kind of stir some things there. All of a sudden, you're going to be bringing up, you know, things that may have happened, things that you may have said. You got to start all over. You got to agree to cut all of that off.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we starting over, we can't bring that back up.
That's true.
You can't. You cannot bring it back up. That's damaging. If you continue to bring, I remember when, it's like being in a relationship with a man. And you're a woman though. You're a woman being in a relationship with a man and he may have cheated on you or you cheated on him. And you're saying like, no, I'm going to stay in this relationship. I know we're crossing over, but I feel like I got to say this. And you say you're going to stay in this relationship with this man. It's like, if you're going to stay there, you can't keep bringing it up.
No, that's
You
true.
can't. So it's the same thing.
You're throwing it in his face.
You throwing it in his face, and you cannot fully heal if you keep bringing it up. So you have to agree in this friendship, we're going to cut it off and we're going to start all over again. That's the only way that I believe you are actually going to repair it. I got to start all over again.
Yeah, because someone actually called. Was it this year? I'm gonna say it was this year. It could have been last year.
Mhm.
Y'all forgive me. But someone actually called and said that they were upset with me. They were mad at me and about something that happened like a long time ago.
Mhm.
And my initial reaction was to be mad. Like, what? I did what to you? You know, and then, but I listened. And the Holy Spirit was like, listen to what they're saying. You know, and I realized like, you know what, let me apologize. I want to be able to move forward. I don't remember everything. And it was so long ago. It was at least 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a totally different person from the person 10 years ago. And I'm woman enough to say, if I made you feel that way and I did that to you, I apologize.
Right.
And one of the things that Karan just said that we said was, you know what? We're not going to go back. We're going to move forward. And so since we started all over, it's been such a different experience, you know, and one of the things I'm all about is accountability, and I can take accountability for my actions. If I made someone feel a type of way, or if I did something and we were supposed to be friends, I want you to call me out on it. Be like, wait a minute, when you said that, I didn't feel very good about that, or I'm feeling a certain kind of way. Because I think it might have been 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, that I told Karen, hey, I feel like we need to spend more time together. I don't feel like we spending it just because life happened. And I felt
life
like
was life.
It really was. And I had gotten so busy with life and trying to build this career that I wasn't spending, not only I wasn't spending time with her, I wasn't spending time with my family or really any friends, to be honest. And I had woke up one day like, I don't even talk to anybody because I have been so focused on school and graduating and work and changing my career from being a manager to education. It was a lot. So you know what? Think about it too. If you want to restore friendship, what's your role in that? Do you need to take accountability and say, hey, let's sit down. I want to repair this friendship. And like Kiran said, if it's not one of those monumental things where you just done cuss this person out from A to Z and ripped them up and down and told all their business.
all of it.
All their business.
Right.
You are able to, come back from that. But I think it's when you start adding, putting 20 on 10 is when people then are like, no, I need to back up from you, because out of your heart is what the mouth speaks.
Yes.
And you can always tell where you are with somebody by their actions and what they say. If they're not calling you, if they don't remember your birthday, if they don't,
look,
I'm telling you, if they're not intentional about spending time with you. If I see you and you out to dinner with your other friend all the time, but I ask you to go out to dinner with me and you don't never have time.
Right. That's
have
a problem.
It is. And just have hey,
have
girl.
a conversation. Have a conversation.
Right. Because the first thing is to get mad, but have a conversation. Hey, girl, I've been trying to spend time with you. Let me know. And then once you have that conversation, you can decide then how you want to move forward. But friendships can be restored. Friendships can be repaired.
They can.
And especially as a Christian, we should do our best to mend our relationships, but you have to use wisdom. If that person is toxic, if that person does not choose you, friendships, you have to choose each other. You have to choose to be friends. I don't know what it is about people that they think friendship is automatic. It's almost like a relationship. You have to earn that person's trust. You have to talk to them and get to know them.
You got to cultivate it.
Yes. That's why I would never cross the line with Karan. Me and her, we hate that cursing each other out thing.
And calling each other hey,
no, we wouldn't address each other like this is the woman of God, like and I think really understanding that. So that's why for me, I'm all about restoration. All about restoration. But at the same time, I'm all about my own personal mental health. And if I see you moving in a way that's not conducive to me, and I don't see that you're choosing me, then we're gonna have to talk about the friendship, or we're gonna have to let it go.
Absolutely. And even in restoring friendships, I do think both parties have to be totally honest, because even if one wants to restore and the other one doesn't, you have to accept that. And then you being the one that, I'm not really sure, I don't know if I can do it. Be honest. Be honest with the other person, saying, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. Don't go back into something that you are not 100% sure about, or say, hey, let's take this step by step. You don't have to call me every day. We can talk every now and then. We can do dinner every now and then. We have to build this thing. Be honest with that person, with where you're at. If you don't want to do it, don't be forced to go back into something that you don't want to do.
Because that person's outside. That person's kissing your behind.
That's not going to be fair. It's not going to be fair to the other person.
And it's like in a relationship, that person gives you a glimmer of hope that y'all get back together. And now your feelings are involved. Like you said, be honest. Like, girl, I can't do it right now. Just give me some time.
Right.
You really hurt me. I really need to process what happened. Or you know what, that I'm not gonna be able to do it. We can be associates. Right. We can be associates when I see you. What does it say? When I see you, it's not gonna be on site. When I see you, we can say hi, we can speak. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay. But I don't know. We gave a lot of scenarios, but I know a lot of people have asked that question, can a friendship be restored? I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen when it was I didn't think it could happen. Involving, like you want to sleep with somebody else's man, or, fighting someone's sibling. I've seen it happen where people have been able to come back. And I just think it takes, it's if you want it and they want it.
It's going to take effort. It's going to take prayer. It's going to take some for real open communication. It's gonna take a lot to rebuild it. And again, it's just like being in a relationship with someone of the opposite sex. It's that whole starting all over again, gaining my trust again, it really is going to be a process, but you can do it. You can do it. And I do want to add this. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I do want to add this. Someone I believe asked Irene as far as what about y'all? Have you all followed?
Oh, yeah, someone did ask me that.
So here's the thing with us. Have we have had a big blowout? No, we have not.
Mm-mm.
We do disagree.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
say,
yeah.
hey, I'm just gonna say something random. And Ron, what color should we wear? I think we should wear like red shirts. And I'm like, no, I think we should wear purple shirts. No, I think we should wear red because of the aesthetics and this and that, and it's gonna go with our hair and it's gonna go with the background. And I'm like, no, I really think it should be purple, So I mean, we have some disagreements, but no, we have not fallen out. I do believe, though, one of the reasons why is how our friendship has built over the years. Irene and I have known each other over 20 years. It's going on 30 years.
It's going on 30.
We have known each other.
It is going on 30 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the thing is, because when we met each other, we didn't like click like that. And we've been best friends ever since. No. She had a whole different set of friends than I had. And over the years, like years had gone by, well, like almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years had gone by. No.
No.
We met in 97.
Yeah, but remember
maybe like 2005. We started like
hanging out,
talking, and
2004, 2005.
Yeah, but here's the thing: in between those years, her and I had gotten married.
Yeah,
like we were at each other's bridal showers or whatever.
We danced at your wedding. Remember?
She danced at my wedding. Yes, our husbands were friends.
Yeah,
dinner
every now and
then. But something about maybe 2004, 2005. I can't even tell you how it happened. It was just like click.
Join us next time for part 2.
Bus, coming from my house, riding downtown to work, talking on the phone to her from the time I left my house till I got to work. I mean, just talking. Yes, and I believe that was a part of the building process. And then here's another thing why I believe we have not fallen out. We've learned each other. So I've heard about her other relationships. I know the things that hurt her. I know some of the things that trigger her. I'm not going to use that against her. You know that triggers her and that hurts her. Why am I using that? Why am I coming at her that way? So it's like we know how to kind of maneuver around each other. We ask each other, how you feeling? Well, how does that make you feel? Well, what about when you went through that? How did that make you feel? So we kind of know each other. We know certain places not to go. Not saying you avoiding it.
Right. No.
It's just the right way to go about addressing it. That's the thing. That's what you have to learn with your friend. How do I address this issue? I know she may be sensitive about this. I know she gonna go off if I come to her, as far as this way. So it's like, learn that friend, know that friend, know which way to come. Pray about it. If you gotta address things, pray about it.
Yeah.
Ask God, how should I address her? When should I address him? How do I need to go about doing it? Believe me, so he is going to guide you. And I know even outside of my relationship with Irene, when I have to address things with my husband, I'm praying about it. I'm writing out like what I want to say to him. I'm asking God, like, how should I set this up? Because you can't come in like, what's coming for the jugular? You just can't come in
going for the jugular.
Going for the jugular. You just can't come in like that. You're going to get the wrong reaction. And you don't want to hurt your friend. Like you don't want to hurt your husband or hurt your boyfriend or hurt your girlfriend or hurt your wife. Right. You don't want to do that. So come in the right way. And if you cannot address it right there at that time, like, you know what, I'm gonna have to come back to you.
Right. And then I agree 100%. And a lot of times with friendships, you have to learn how to compromise with that person. Everything can't be your way. And then, like Kieran said, knowing what they like, knowing their personality, which is why sometimes when I see friendships, and I've seen it where they just say anything to that person. And I'm thinking, I'm not friends with them like that. And I wouldn't say that. Why would you say that? Just because you guys have known each other that long, or, cussing each other out. I just find it to be very, very toxic, because like Karen said, if you love that person, you're going to get to know them, know their triggers. Like she said, I mean, this girl right here has wiped my tears. Yeah. And she's seen it.
Vice versa.
But I'm just saying, she knows, and she's seen other friendships that have come and have gone, and and so you just don't want
people hurting us when we cry.
Right. When we're crying together. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just think that you have to cultivate that friendship and you have to love that person where you don't want to hurt them. I would never want to hurt Karen. I would never want to be the cause of causing her any pain. And friendships, and we said this in our T-tip, friendships should empower and uplift. Yes, friendships can correct, but you have to correct that person in their love language.
Exactly.
And you have to not to go after them to be intentional and hurt them, but in their love language. Because I want you to tell me when you see me going off the deep end, but I want you to tell me in love. I mean, you might have to be direct, Irene. Right. No, Right. So I just think those are important. And it just goes back to how you love and respect that person and where they are. If it's a friendship that you want, because there are friendships that last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
And I think the friendship topic is very exhaustive. I think it's very personal too. And you have to look at yourself as a friend. What kind of friend are you? Would you be your own friend?
Right.
I think that all the time. Would I be a friend to me? Because sometimes I can go dark on people. I can go silent. Exactly. You don't hear from me.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't hear from me, that don't mean I don't love her. I don't love my other friends. I'm in the trenches. Yeah. And sometimes I got to come up and say, hey, y'all, I need help, or this is what I got going on, or, okay, let me take time out to just go to dinner.
Exactly.
Have a break.
Yes.
So I just think with friendships, you got to see yourself in it and what you want to do. Do you want to repair the friendship? Is it something you want to let go? I think it's personal.
Yes, it really is.
Think it's personal.
It really is personal. So we hope that you all have gotten something out of this. And if you all are actually going through with any relationship that you have, more specifically as far as your friendship with your girlfriend or your guy friend or whoever, that if you're going through this and you just need to know, like, how do I get back into this? Should I get back into this? We just hope you do take some of this advice. Take some of this advice and actually just sit down, pray about it. Pray about it, ask God, like, okay, God, should I be doing this? And then let God know exactly how you feel. He knows how you feel, but he wants to hear exactly how you feel. And when you go back to the other person, be raw and honest with them. Let them know, that you hurt them. You didn't appreciate some of the things that they may have said. You didn't even like how it even ended. Or if you're on the other side, if you got to go back in, apologize. Go in, apologize it. Admit to what you said and what you did, and let that person know that you do want to rekindle that relationship. It can be done. It really can, but it has to be a mutual agreement. Both parties have to agree, and then you have to agree on that process. Are you going to go back to what it was, or are you all going to start over? But you got to be on the same page with what that process is going to be. So we hope that you all have been helped. We hope that something that we have said, will help you all in your relationship. You might not have even gone through any of this with your friend, but just in case, here's a little tip or two for you, just in case. And then maybe this will even help you to even avoid falling out with your relationship and in your relationship. I said that all wrong, but you all know what I meant. With your friends. So we love y'all. We hope you all have enjoyed this podcast. Yes. And until next time, thank you all and love you all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.